I'd like to begin with a celebration. It will be 7 years next month that I've been living with metastatic stage 4 kidney cancer. Although I was diagnosed in 2004, I did have symptoms present for 2 years. And I was a very active member of the gym back then, so the pain that I kept feeling in my lower back and the hip area was often attributed to something that I did in the gym. And then I also had some excessive bleeding. But being a female, it was automatically associated with some female issues. So it was just brushed off to the side. But in May of 2004, the pain was so bad that I could hardly move. So I went back to my family doctor, who then said, okay, well, we'll get you in to see a gynecologist. And I had to wait 3 months. So I couldn't wait that long. The pain was so bad that off to the local hospital I went. And I went into there, and they scheduled an ultrasound. And the very next day, they found an 8-centimeter tumor in my kidney. So off I went back to my family doctor, who got me in to see a urologist within 2 weeks at, again, the local hospital. I went there, but actually before I went there, of course, I went home. And then, of course, that whole thought of, having cancer was just so frightening that I felt extremely hopeless. And then, of course, you get that feeling of losing total control of your life. And my emotions and everything just started going downhill. And I was crying everywhere I went in my house, every single room. So I thought, okay, well, I have to start getting some control. So I only allowed myself to cry in one room. And I did visit that room a lot. So not knowing anything about kidney cancer, I logged on to my computer. And then in 2004, unfortunately, there wasn't a great deal of information. However, I did quickly learn that kidney cancer is a very rare disease with a very poor prognosis if it has spread. So not knowing my situation, I thought, oh gosh, these statistics are just horrifying. So, of course, then you've got the biggest concern. Am I going to die? Are my children going to be left without their mother? And you just wanted to speak to somebody. And again, there was nobody there to speak to. So, again, I just spent like endless days and hours on my computer and starting to research different type of treatment options. And at that time, there were hardly any. But I did find a link to a clinical trial, and I just typed in kidney cancer and came up with very few clinical trials back then. But I came across one that jumped out at me because it was offered at Princess Margaret Hospital in Toronto. So I thought, well, this looks interesting. So I printed off the information. Then my urologist appointment came along, and I went to see the urologist. And he was very concerned and began making plans right away for a radical nephrectomy. And I asked him about treatment options. And he said, well, we'll look at that after surgery. Right now, the most important thing is to get this tumor out. We've got to remove your kidney. So then I presented him with this information that I had found on the internet about this clinical trial. And it was only then that he remembered that he saw information about this clinical trial passed by his desk. So he agreed that I may be a good candidate, and so he sent my file off to Princess Margaret for a second opinion. So I feel strongly that if I had just sat back and not been proactive in doing my own research, and just let the system take care of me, I don't know if I'd be standing here today. But I got involved, I became an informed patient, and I started to advocate for my own health right back then. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have had the opportunity for a clinical trial that I went on. So this trial that I went on was actually very, very good. It was a trial that was offered. It was called a vaccine trial. So it was a vaccine that was made personally for me, and they needed my tumor in order to make this vaccine. So I needed to have my surgery done right there at the hospital that was involved in offering this clinical trial. So the whole experience was, it was really, really terrific for me. The goal of the vaccine was to keep the cancer stable and stop it from spreading. And there were times when I would question myself, is this the right treatment option for me? But through those 6 years, my second brain kept saying, yes, this is right, this is right. You know, that gut feeling you get there, that's our second brain. So I was listening to that. So for sure, for 6 years, my CT scans proved that it was working for me. Until, unfortunately, in September of last year, they found a little growth on my lung. And then my next set of scans, 3 months later, showed that it had doubled in size. So in December, I had a biopsy done, and it came back stage 4 renal cell carcinoma. So unfortunately, the vaccine was no longer working. So I was removed from the vaccine trial, and now I'm on Sutent. So I'm a newbie on Sutent. This is my third cycle on 50 milligrams, and I have a new challenge, and that is, of course, learning how to deal with all the side effects. So far, just from hearing everybody else's stories, how they've been managing, and all the information that we have published, I find that being very proactive in adopting some of these strategies for managing the side effects, I'm able to minimize them. And the potential side effects and strategies that I'm referring to actually can be found on our website under patient resources. And if you're on Sutent or you have to go on Sutent, I highly recommend that you do take the time to read them and adopt them up front. So like many other people, of course, all of us here that have been diagnosed, you're just devastated. It has a huge impact on the quality of your life and your mind. The emotional side effects are debilitating. You've got all the fear, worry, anxiety, stress, fatigue, and it's just all unbearable. So the first thing you feel is you need to establish some sense of control of your life. So for me, what I did was I began reaching out to resources offered by cancer support and wellness centers like Wellspring. I attended a guided relaxation and visualization session that was, for me, was a really good start because it gave me an opportunity to let go of the negative emotions that come with being diagnosed with kidney cancer or any cancer. Next, I tried the mind and body connection, which focused on being present in the moment and establishing control over your emotions and thoughts. I found that being by fully present in the moment, which isn't always easy to do, but by being present, you have better control of your thoughts. I can't stop the thoughts from coming, but I do now feel I have the ability to let them go, especially the negative thoughts that are associated with the uncertainty of the future. The Healing Journey was another program I took, which provides a number of techniques and ideas for improving one's ability to cope with cancer. I was starting to feel a lot better after taking those courses, so I thought, okay, now is the time I have to start doing some gentle exercise programs. So I went to Qigong and Tai Chi, which were the two exercise programs that I was first introduced to. They are traditional Chinese exercises that combine movement, meditation, and breathing to promote emotional and physical wellness. I was amazed at how well I was feeling after taking these classes. I noticed that I was moving with less stiffness and tension, and I was actually having more energy than what I was losing. So I was gaining, which was what I was really wanting to do. So then I decided to take some yoga classes. And there are many different styles of yoga classes available, but I knew I didn't have the energy to take a yoga class that was demanding on the body. So I registered for a restorative yoga program that's a very nice, gentle style of yoga that uses props to help support the body while you're in different poses. I need a drink. Excuse me. So by trying all these different programs, I was able to identify what works best for me, and then narrow it down to the different types of programs that I wanted to continue taking. So right now, I still practice Tai Chi, yoga, and meditation. I believe that I believe that these are helping my body to heal. And by practicing exercises that incorporate deep breathing techniques, I can quickly let go of any tension that I may be holding inside and allow my body to relax. Because I truly believe that a body that's in tension cannot heal. Also, an exercise that incorporates slow turning and stretching motions helps to massage the inner organs, loosen the joints and ligaments, and the spine. And then you get more blood flow, oxygen, and energy, and that can just move freely through your body, so you're nourishing your whole body. And it's important to complement your medical treatment with all activities to keep your mind and body healthy. And of course, we've heard good nutrition is vitally important. I myself do practice a lot of the things that we just heard in the nutritional speech and the complementary speech as well. I do a lot of make my own juices, a lot of carrot-based juices, and I definitely avoid my intake of sugar and processed foods, eat a lot of raw fruits and veggies, and a lot of dark green leafy dark green leaves like kale and spinach, and I even have dandelion. I put that into my diet, which is really good. So just to kind of sum things up, my personal goals in terms of my cancer journey are to maintain a healthy lifestyle through good nutrition and exercise, and to have ongoing access to kidney cancer and treatment. So today I feel that instead of just surviving, I am truly thriving with kidney cancer. And Kidney Cancer Canada is very much an integral part of my support system. From the comfort of knowing that I'm not alone and that there are others close by dealing with the same concerns that I have, and Kidney Cancer is there to educate us about the disease and the different treatment options. I feel I have more control of my life. Onwards, and let's climb those mountains. Thank you.